Imagine this. You have a big deadline coming up. It could be a project, an exam, or an important decision. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow comes and you push it further. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into regret. Procrastination isn't just about delaying work. It's about delaying your success, your dreams, and even your happiness. But why do we do it? Why do we sabotage our own progress? And most importantly, how can we break free from it? In this video, we'll uncover the science of procrastination, why your brain tricks you into delaying important tasks, and how to overcome it once and for all. So, if you've ever felt stuck, distracted, or overwhelmed by inaction, keep watching. My biggest lesson about procrastination. I used to be a master procrastinator. I'd delay assignments until the last minute, avoid difficult conversations, and tell myself I'll do it later. I remember one time when I had a major exam. I knew it was important, but instead of studying, I scrolled through my phone, binge-watched shows, and convinced myself that I needed the right mood to start. The night before the exam, panic hit. I stayed up cramming, barely slept, and felt exhausted the next day. The result? I failed. That moment hit me hard. I realized procrastination wasn't just about time management. It was about fear, avoidance, and self-doubt. And if I didn't fix it, I'd keep sabotaging my future. So I started researching, experimenting, and applying every method possible to stop procrastinating. And what I discovered changed my life. Why we procrastinate. So, what causes procrastination? Most people think it's laziness, but that's not true. Procrastination is an emotional response. It's your brain avoiding discomfort. The science behind it. Your brain has two main forces at play. 1. The prefrontal cortex. This part is responsible for decision-making and self-control. 2. The limbic system. This is the emotional, pleasure-seeking part of your brain. When you face a difficult task, the limbic system takes over and says, this is uncomfortable. Let's do something fun instead. That's why you scroll through social media instead of starting that project. The instant gratification trap. We live in a world where dopamine, the feel-good chemical, is everywhere. Watching a short video, dopamine hit. Playing a game, dopamine hit. Checking social media, dopamine hit. Your brain is wired to chase instant rewards and avoid difficult tasks that offer long-term rewards. The fear factor. Most procrastination comes from fear. Fear of failure. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of the task being too hard. Fear of imperfection. When your brain senses this fear, it finds an easy escape. Procrastination. How to overcome procrastination. Now that you know why you procrastinate, let's talk about how to beat it. 1. The 5-second rule. Whenever you feel the urge to delay something, count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start. This interrupts your brain's habit loop and forces action before your emotions take over. Action kills procrastination. The 2-minute rule. If a task feels overwhelming, just do it for 2 minutes. Once you start, you'll likely continue. This eliminates the mental resistance to starting. For example, instead of saying, I have to study for 3 hours, say, I'll study for just 2 minutes. Instead of saying, I need to work out for an hour, say, I'll do 2 minutes of exercise. Getting started is the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum kicks in. 3. Break big tasks into small steps. Your brain avoids big tasks because they seem overwhelming. Break them down. Instead of write a book, start with write 1 paragraph. Instead of study for an exam, start with review 1 page. Instead of build a business, start with research 1 idea. Small steps make tasks feel easy, and progress fuels motivation. 4. Remove distractions. Your environment shapes your behavior. If your phone is nearby, you'll check it. If YouTube is open, you'll watch videos. Turn off notifications, use website blockers, work in a distraction-free zone. Make it easier to focus and harder to procrastinate. Set a deadline, even if there isn't one. If a task has no deadline, your brain treats it as not urgent. Give yourself a strict deadline. Use timers to create urgency. Parkinson's law states that work expands to fill the time available. If you give yourself 3 days, you'll take 3 days. If you give yourself 3 hours, you'll finish in 3 hours. 6. The 80-20 rule. Pareto principle. 80% of results come from 20% of effort. Focus on high-impact tasks. Instead of being busy, ask, what's the one thing that will make the biggest difference? 7. Reward yourself for taking action. Your brain needs rewards to form habits. After completing a task, give yourself a small reward, e.g., a break, a treat, or watching a short video. This trains your brain to associate taking action with pleasure. How I use these strategies. Remember my story about failing that exam? I applied these strategies, and everything changed. Instead of waiting for motivation, I used the 5-second rule. Instead of cramming, I studied for just 2 minutes daily. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, I broke tasks into small steps. And guess what? I started getting results. Procrastination isn't a time management problem, it's an emotional problem. Here's a quick recap. Use the 5-second rule to take immediate action. Start with just 2 minutes to beat resistance. Break tasks into small steps to reduce overwhelm. Eliminate distractions and create a focused environment. Set deadlines to create urgency. Reward yourself to reinforce good habits. Remember, action beats inaction. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The best time to start? Right now. Now tell me, what's one thing you've been procrastinating on? Drop it in the comments below and take action today. Let's beat procrastination together.